Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm reading When Your Ex Hurts You by me. So let's get into that. Midoriya would be enraged. He had heard about your ex. You had told him about him and told him just how abusive he was. He would manipulate you and gaslight you, telling you things that didn't happen, and constantly making you doubt yourself and your own memories. And even worse, he'd sometimes even hurt you, and you'd come to Midoriya, asking for help, while he would try to convince you to break up with him, threatening to hurt him, while you did your best to keep him away, not realizing how bad this was for you when you had left. And finally, Izuku could keep an eye on you and protect you. He was relieved. But apparently, things just had to go wrong. When he was going to visit you today, he found the door open, and you were pinned against the wall, your ex's hand against your neck, choking you, and you only had moments to act. Before he knew it, your ex was on the floor, and you were crying in his arms as you glared at him with all the hate that he could muster. Why would you do that, you bastard? What did she ever do to you? Haven't you already done enough? Your ex laughed at that, getting up lazily. Enough? For that whore? Really now? How could you hold her like that when you know she slept with another man? Shut up! Izuku says, slapping him, the sound ringing throughout your apartment. Izuku let go of you, telling you to stay back, before he kicked him outside and locked the door, going back to you and wrapping you in his arms. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'll do better, okay? I'll report him, and I'll take him to the cops. It'll be alright. I promise. I won't let him lay hand on you ever again. Bakugo, you had told him briefly about your ex, knowing that if you told him everything, he would have killed him. Literally. And you did not want to end his Zero career. So, you kept it brief and short. But your ex didn't seem to want to do so, because he was waiting outside of you, out of your college. What are you doing here? You glared, but you got no response, as your ex dragged you by the hair towards his car, and you began to scream, terrified. And that was until your boyfriend was kicked away. What the hell are you doing to her? Bakugo growled, frowning at him and picking you up. She's my girlfriend. Let her go. And that just made Bakugo's frown deepen. Your girlfriend? She's mine. She was yours before she found out you cheated on her, scum. You buried your face into his chest, scared, and also not wanting to see your ex's face. Bakugo murmured reassuring words into your ear, and then he held your ex by his shoulder, letting out small explosions. If you ever think of getting close to Ayan again, I'll kill you. And well, that was that. Todoroki would be extremely worried. Someone hurt you, and he was extremely protective over you. So he would trap your ex in ice, not even sparing a glance at him, before wrapping you in his arms, looking you over and asking if you're alright. And if you're crying, well, he'd wipe away your tears so gently, holding you like you're made out of glass, and kissing your forehead, telling you that he was here and that you're safe. and no one would ever hurt you. Everything would be alright. He then took you to a room and put you down on the bed, telling you that he'd be back in a moment. Then, he melted the ice around your ex, tied him up and gagged him, then left him in the living room, calling the cops to get him, and going back to your room, helping you fall asleep, just to take a nap and rest. Kaminari. Kaminari was perfect for the situation. He had known your ex before, and had seen him several times. He tried his best to keep it civil, and even keep on a nice relationship with him. And that was because you were too nervous to tell him about the abuse he had. So, when he saw him today, cornering you, and attempting to hurt you, that was it. He grabbed the guy and shoved him away, and then put his hand on his chest, shocking him. Don't even think you could touch my Mayan again. She's mine. And you're just a bastard. If I ever see you hurting Mayan again, I'll be calling the cops. Got it? I don't want to get my hands dirty because of someone like you, he said. And the next thing you knew was that Denki picked him up, easily throwing him out of the house and locking the door. Then he got on his knees and traced your cheek gently, concern all over his face. Mayan, love, are you alright? I'm sorry I was too late. You stopped him, putting a finger to his mouth, and then wrapped your arms around him, kissing his cheek. Thank you, Kaminari. Kirishima. You had told him about your ex before. A messed up drunkard. Really? You were tired of the smell of alcohol, the things he would do to you, and you were sick of it all. And that was why you left. You had spent some time living with Kirishima, and then you got closer, and eventually, you two got together, and your ex did not seem to like that at all. And that was why he was knocking at your door at 3 in the morning. Kirishima was in patrol, and so, you opened it. He didn't want him to draw so much attention from the neighbors and all. It was enough that Kirishima knew. Not everyone had to know about your alcoholic ex. What are you doing here? He growled, glaring at him, but before you could do anything, he pushed you inside, closing the door and pushing you into the couch. You're a piece of shit, you know that? He growled, straddling you. Then he began to pale, trying to push him off. Hey, what are you doing? Get off me! You struggled against him, trying to push him off, until you noticed that Kirishima was inside. In a few moments, Kirishima had him pinned against the ground, punching him as he yelled about how he should never do that to you, about how wrong he was. You couldn't register anything, too busy being curled up, crying. But what you know is that Kirishima let go eventually, and dragged him out, going to the nearest police station, and then come back to you, and the two of you talked. And then, once he was sure you were comforted, he stays close to you until you fell back asleep, once again in Kirishima's arms. So, the two of you were at a party, and your ex was there, and even though you had noticed, you had told him that everything would be alright, and that he didn't need to fight. And so, he kept his emotions under control. But your ex couldn't, because when you were supposed to go to the bathroom, he grabbed you, pushing you away, and yelling at you in front of everyone in the party. You looked shocked, frozen, not knowing what to do with everyone looking at you. Sero and Kaminari had grabbed him and pushed him onto the ground, Sero taping him and giving him a glare, while Kaminari said some things about him, trying to calm everyone down and get them back to enjoy the party. Sero's attention then shifted back to you. He held you close to him, apologizing and asking if you wanted to go home. When you said yes, he picked you up in his arms and then headed back home with you. The two of you sure missed out on the party, but at least you had fun watching a movie, cuddled up in each other's warmth, away from the rest of the world and its chaos.